Hi there, folks. Simon here. Welcome to another 7x7 Chandrian Tak Invitational Tournament match, this time between gowellja and NohatCoder. Currently, NohatCoder ranked number 1 and gowellja ranked number 2. They've been trading this top spot here. Gowellja's been playing lots of bots, mostly Argbot, to bump up his rating here to compete up for that top spot. And this is going to be a pretty good one. Gowellja's done some pretty solid play in this tournament so far. Uh, I believe he played against Arch Venison, and that was when Arch missed a pretty easy thing early on, just wasn't paying attention, playing too quickly, and that happened. But this should be a good one. No Hat was very strong in the tournament last year. Actually, if we take a look at who won the tournament last year, I believe he was first place, if I'm not mistaken. It was NohatCoder and Abyss tied for first place in the overall, because I believe it was Swiss or something like that. And then they had to do a tiebreak blitz game. They had to do, I believe, 3 tiebreak blitz matches. So it was like 6 games or something before No Hat came out on top. So really fun stuff. But yeah, No Hat is the reigning Chandrian Tak Invitational champion from last year. So this should be a very solid match between him and gowellja. And gowellja was not competing last year in the tournament. So yeah, I think we'll see some good tak here today. And this is again one game, not a 2-game match, just one singular game with 15 minutes on the clock and a 20-second increment. That means 20 seconds added to their time after every turn. And then they also have 2 komi as well for black. That means 2 gets added to black's flat count score at the end of the game if it does not end in a road. Anyway, looks like their game is up. Let's get ready, jump right in to this Chandrian Tak Invitational game. All right, and I think we're going to be seeing gowellja make this first move here and write an A1 and then G1, that adjacent corners, and gowellja again going for this knight's opening, which is very common in 6x6, but typically people in 7x7 play for the center square. So gowellja is definitely playing differently than most of the people, and No Hat is dropping his capstone much earlier than we've seen pretty much any other competitor do. And I think that's a smart move. I think that early first capstone is really important here. And black is just immediately going for this horizontal line. White was trying to fix up that vertical line here, but it's not going to be as easy, I don't think, especially not against a seasoned competitor like No Hat, who's had to play quite a bit in these tournaments. Now we see gowellja drop that capstone, ready to come down and cut off everything that black is going for in this horizontal direction. So black now shifting gears, going to go for the vertical. White still has a pretty strong claim here to this vertical line, and black is just going to keep placing up here to go in that direction. White also just fine to keep placing, wants to play us up at G7 next so they can make that tak threat and force black to make a capture. Black does make that capture prematurely, but I think that it's a good time to make that. White drops the second capstone, both capstones in there. Interestingly, all of White's action is off to the right of their 2 capstones. So they're not really going to be able to jump into that. They kind of block themselves off there with that capstone placement. And I think that might work against them here. They're both playing very quickly also, almost up at 18 minutes. And again, we started with 15 minutes on the clock, 20-second increment. So they've been playing well under that 20-second average time for turns. And they're just cranking it out. White drops a wall here. They probably wanted their capstone to be able to capture that, but didn't want to make that negative move. Wanted to drop a wall, get that on the board, and be able to come over, capture, try to liberate that captive. Black here, gonna have to do something. Doesn't want this wall to get away with liberating the captive, making some positive black on differential moves down here below. but doesn't really have a chance to do anything. I think this is going to make that move down below and kind of go for that horizontal line, and cover up f2 from black, but I think black wants to bring this down onto e2 afterwards, or maybe onto f3 afterwards, and threaten to recover the captive if that wall stack does move down. gowellja finally taking his time a little bit on this turn. Both of these players playing lightning fast, knowing that if this game does go long into the end game, with 7x7, there is a lot of end game that you can get to, and it can get very tricky and bring you right down to the wire in terms of time. So it looks like white does make that move, coming down, making that positive flat count differential move. Again, flat count differential and positive flat count differential moves are covered in the Tak University video called FCD, or flat count differential. So you can go ahead and check that out on the YouTube channel. And that should help you understand what I'm talking about there and why it's so important. And here we see black not making any sort of capture, just placing a flat here, making a connection. This goes for that horizontal line, as well as filling in and giving a better base of operations here to go for the vertical if they want to continue that line of action. So we do see white placing up at g7, really wants to keep this capstone where it is, wants to be able to make some movement on this side, make this threat happen, but I really don't see anything happening with this line here for white. I think that's a lost cause. Black now shifting gears, going for that horizontal line. Also, this works for the vertical. They can build down below, down to d2 and then d1 to go for that. I think if I were to say who's in the lead right now, I'd say black is definitely in control of this game. White can make threats, but they're really easily disassembled. Black's threats can be disassembled too, but I think that they're in a better position. They have more center control, despite white's two capstones right around the center. They just have more flats in the center. They can change directions. White can change directions, but it's I don't know. That wall, however, does change things up. White now has a really strong way to get in at black here. And white missed the threat. Black just places at d1. gowellja completely missed that this was a vertical threat, was focusing on this horizontal line, didn't even see that this was a vertical line there, and just completely missed that. And so, which is interesting because that's kind of how gowellja won against Archvenison. Just a missed threat, and boom. So it happens to him. That it was a shame that it ended on just like an easy missed threat so early. Actually, on move 17, which was the exact same move that Archvenison lost on in his game against gowellja. So really interesting that's the exact same move for the same sort of thing. But well played there, Nohat. You really controlled that game. gowellja, I don't think that this Knight's opening works too well in 7x7. I don't know that 7x7, the Knight's opening is a little tough for that one. I would say go for that center control quick, just because there's so much time to interrupt an edge crawl like this. In 7x7, it's almost impossible to pull off. So well played to both players. Really, it was fun to watch, and thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to check out the description for all things Tak, especially the Tak Discord server, which is where you can find tons and tons of resources, including videos, strategy guides, people to play with. You can find them on there and say, hey, let's go play a game on playtak. Let's also play asynchronously right through the Discord. You can play asynchronously or correspondence games right in the Discord itself. Don't even have to do anything. Just hop in there and find people to play. And it's a lot of fun. Even if you just have a few minutes a day to play a game, you can do that. I've been doing it the past few days and it's great. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and until next time, have a great day and happy tacking.